To get things rolling here, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Kelly Scott, Director of the Farm Robotics Challenge. We have a pretty packed full agenda today, so we're going to get right into things. And here's how the session is going to go. First off, we want to introduce you to the organizations behind the challenge and then meet the team. So you have you can put faces to names with who you'll be coordinating with throughout the time during the challenge. And then before jumping into things, we want to give a spotlight to, we have two guests that participated last year. One is a student and one is a faculty member. And we want to have them give share a little bit about their experience so you can hear directly from the participants and what it meant to them. I think that would be really valuable for those teams that haven't participated before. And then we'll get into the nuts and bolts. Everything about the competition, the rules, the guidelines, expectations. This portion will probably cover a lot of the questions that you may have. And while we're talking, if you do have a question, we're just going to ask you to put it in the chat. We're not going to address them immediately because 9 times out of 10, it'll be answered in the next slide or 2 slides down. But if for some reason we don't answer the question, we'll get to it right at the end. And here's the fun part, prize announcements. We have some of our sponsors and partners that are going to give you the details of those prizes this year. So that'll be exciting. So stay tuned for that. And then at the end, we have a few minutes. We could have a dialogue and address any questions that come up from the presentation. So getting things rolling, I want to tell you a little bit about the organization that I work for. So the Farm Robotics Challenge is hosted by UC Ag and Natural Resources. And for those of you who don't know, UCANR is the extension arm of the University of California system. We're affiliated, we aren't affiliated with just a single campus, but many campuses. And I like to say our campus is actually the entire state of California. Across California, UCANR's county-based cooperative extension advisors, what we refer to as farm advisors, work side by side with growers, producers, local organizations to address challenges unique to their local regions. And these advisors offer practical, applied research support, farming practices, food production, and then also natural resource management. On the campuses, we have faculty members that are called extension specialists, and their focus is broader statewide issues, advancing agricultural technologies, improving food safety, and also safeguarding our natural resources. So these two groups, the local groups focused on granular issues in their communities, and the statewide groups focused on more big picture, create this amazing network that ensures that science-based solutions are available at both the local and the state level. So that's who UC Ag and Natural Resources is. UCANR Innovate is under that umbrella, and UCANR Innovate is the program that runs the Farm Robotics Challenge. At the 30,000-foot view, UCANR Innovate brings together people, resources, and ideas to accelerate agriculture, food, and biotech innovation in California. Our 4 pillars are developing practical technologies, generating use-inspired research, preparing a future-ready workforce, and building those ecosystems, networks, and partnerships that make innovation possible. And this is done locally, regionally, and increasingly globally, as this competition definitely showcases. So there's no shortage of problems to tackle, as you can see on this slide. Here are some of the big ones that we're after. Though all are relevant, for the sake of this presentation, I'm just going to fast forward right to the last category, and that's offering leadership in emerging tech. So UCANR Innovate really does seek to position California as a global leader, deploying and scaling new technologies for food, agriculture, and sustainability, and then modeling those solutions for other regions to continue to amplify the impact. And then to answer these challenges, from our perspective is to look and to push forward. We're betting big on technology and the ingenuity of our brightest minds to solve these problems. We're going to need it. We aim to accelerate the development by leveraging our partner networks and moving new innovations from research and concept and idea to the field and to market-ready companies. So that's who we are in context with the big picture context, I guess. So if you're just joining and didn't hear me introduce myself, my name is Kelly Scott, Director of the Farm Robotics Challenge. I did want to take just a moment here to let my colleagues hop on the call, introduce themselves. From our perspective, this challenge is a community that we want to develop and foster, and building those personal relationships is a big part of that. So throughout the competition, you'll definitely be interacting with me, but then also probably Eric and Lucy at some point too. So at this point in time, I'd like to invite Eric up to the microphone, so to say, just to say a few words about his role and position with UCANR Innovate. Eric?
Good afternoon, everybody. So I am the coordinator of the Farm Robotics Academy. The Farm Robotics Academy is the challenge for secondary students, 7th to 12th grade. And so we're excited to be part of the opportunity here. And we hope to have a good program to help develop that pipeline of bringing students into ag tech. And that's what this academy is about. Well, welcome aboard.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, the Academy is new this year. So we're real excited to bring them into the challenge to see what the high school, middle school students can put together. So Eric's spearheading that, and we're looking forward to see how that turns out. And then at this time, Lucy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lucy Kayer. I'm the program manager for UCANR Innovate that hosts this challenge. Been involved with the challenge since year one, and I'm really excited to see it growing every year and see the prize packaging increasing, and most of all, see more and more students getting involved in ag robotics, ag engineering, and just agriculture in general. So I hope you guys compete this year.
Awesome. Thank you, Lucy. So our partner organization that we work with on producing the challenge is what's called AIFS, or the AI Institute for Next Generation Food Systems. And we're fortunate enough to have Associate Director Steve Brown on the call to share a little bit more about AIFS, who they are, what they do. Steve, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
All right. So I will stop my share and you could put up your slides.
All right. Hi, everybody. Steve Brown from the AI Institute for Next Generation Food Systems. We call it AIFS. Just a few slides about what we do. We are federally funded from the USDA NIFA, and we've been around for about 5 years. And amongst those years, we've been funding various types of agriculture research related to AI. And we have partners with different universities. These are some of them along the way. And in the lower left there, you see some of our major subawardees, such as Berkeley, Illinois, Cornell, and UCANR and USDA. So what do we do, and why do we care about this? We are federally funded. We are trying to help a healthier planet. This institute in particular works in the entire food system, which goes from, in the upper right, where I'm pointing, plants growing to harvest, to processing, to consumption. We're looking for how AI can benefit along the whole path of the food system. Obviously, the challenge focuses around here in the harvest and the grow area, but maybe in the process area as well. We'll see. And how do we apply AI in these areas? Well, I've replaced the what with the how in each of these sections. So large language models, machine vision plus root and task programming, image classification, all those are going to be familiar to you, and you may be putting those together to solve some problems. We are a co-sponsor of this event, this challenge, And so I would invite you to engage and learn more about what AIFS has done through aifs.ucdavis.edu. And that way you can learn some examples that may even spur your interest into some of your solutions that you develop. So with that, back to you, Kelly.
Thank you, Steve. I'm just going to add, AIFS has a really great speaker series, and the topics are amazing, and we're going to co-promote those events to the challenge participants. So there'll be webinars just like this, so you don't have to attend in person, but you'll probably see those notices from us in the future. And yeah, it's, like I said, all about building, growing the community, and that's a big part of it, and that continual education. So let's go back to my slide. Okay, so we're at that point in the presentation where we wanted you to hear directly from two participants from last year's challenge. I will say these two participants won the two top awards, so they did really well. And first off, we're going to hear from Christian Como from University of Hawaii at Manoa. He was a student on Team Aina, and we'll let him give his student perspective. And then we also want to share the faculty team advisor perspective from Luan Oliveira from University of Georgia at the Tifton campus. So with that, Christian, I'm going to kick it over to you. And yeah, tell us a little bit about your experience through the challenge last year.
Hi, everybody. So our experience last year, we worked with Dole Plantation and a few local farms here in Hawaii. We interviewed them to basically find a problem that they needed solving. And one of the major topics that came up was labor shortages and an aging farming workforce that's pretty much an issue in big cities. So the way that we approached and tackled this problem was to use a land robot and drone system that uses computer vision. And in this way, at least for the aging farming workforce that already exists, we can help them optimize their labor for the harvest, and they can time their workforce to be more efficient. Definitely, I would say this was one of my first projects working with a robotics competition or any project at all. I was a little intimidated at first, but I was surrounded by lots of good professors, a lot of good mentors that in all sorts of areas. I learned how to utilize computer vision. I learned I learned image stitching. I learned all these different technical skills. But I think more importantly than that, this challenge also opened up a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurship, as well as public speaking, as well as just being risk-taking. And I definitely encourage any of you who are thinking about joining this challenge to participate, because even if you don't know anything, you will never know the opportunities that may open up to you and all the new things that you can learn.
So to add to that, what are some of the opportunities that you've found yourself in now?
So on top of winning the challenge with Farm Robotics Challenge, we also got invited to one of the largest tech accelerators in the world for startups, Plug and Play, in San Jose this past summer. And my mom's a bit of an entrepreneur herself, but I never really considered going to a startup career or field. So I was very curious. So I flew down to San Jose, and it was a great opportunity meeting Kelly, Walt, Steve, everybody, and learning from all these experts in the field of ag tech. And we even were given the opportunity at this event to pitch our technology as a business idea and a proposal. I believe that we are actually still working on this as a business idea here in Hawaii as we speak. We still have meetings about farmers we can reach out to, ways we can seek funding. But this would not be possible if without Farm Robotics Challenge. So definitely shout out to Kelly and for all the opportunities provided. So
That's great. And yeah, we're excited to continue to help you on your journey. So we're here to support that. So definitely keep in touch. And we know we're going to see you at an event in a couple months. So thank you, Christian. Really appreciate that perspective. Let's shoot it over to Luan.
Right here.
Hey.
Oh, good afternoon. Maybe evening for somebody, or maybe good morning for some of you. My name is Luan Oliveira. I'm a professor, assistant professor here at the University of Georgia. And we were one of the participants for the Farm Robotics Challenge last year and this year. So I was really glad to participate as a faculty. And I have here, Kelly, some of your questions. So Kelly asked me like, hey, like what was the motivation and alignment with the goals that I have for my program? So I'm an extension faculty. So I engage a lot with farmers, and so do my students, which if I roll over my screen here, some of them are watching also the session. So, like as a personal, I would say faculty, it like the Farm Robotics Challenge goals, they perfectly align with my passion for like bringing innovation in agriculture, and also my goal of preparing them, these guys which are watching, for real world situations. So, like talking about the students, challenging them was really nice to see. They split like from day one, as we said, hey, let's build this. The grower has this challenge. The co-ops, they also have this challenge of carrying drones, like spray drones, heavy loads. Why not use a robot to carry that for them? So that was like the main idea, and also our own challenges here. As we, for example, were spraying pecan trees. So we had to bring the drone, go to the truck, put it on the back, and loading that drone on a robotic platform was like the end of our problems. So from day one, the students, they actually split teams. Say, hey, I have this AI background, so I build the app and the system. I have more of this mechanical engineering background, so let me build the platform. So it's something that you don't see, but then when you bring them to these real world situations, it's natural. Everybody takes the lead on what they need. So it helped them a lot. So Marcelo is here. I see some guys talking in the chat there. So Marcelo has more like a AI research background, and he builds the whole intelligence behind the whole system without knowing zero from coding on Arduino, for example. So in 4 months, everybody we were like running as busy and like trying to accommodate with other projects we have here. But that was awesome. I would like tell everybody, hey, if you have at least this of a question about like joining the challenge or not, I would say go for it, because it really changes the way we see things within the lab. And also, as Christian mentioned, there's the entrepreneur side that if you get to be one of the winners, I don't know, Kelly, am I giving any spoiler here? Like, are we gonna have the plug and play again, or not? Because
we're working on it.
okay, awesome. We got this opportunity to present about like breaking the barriers of the university, and then going to a completely professional environment, and talking about our solution as a commercial solution to real investors. And at the end of the session, people say, "Hey, that's a really nice idea." As the guys from Hawaii are still working on theirs, we're still working on ours here to become something that the growers can actually benefit from it in the future. So yeah, that's it. Do you have any more questions, Kelly?
No, that's great. I think you
Did I
nailed
touch
it.
base on everything?
It's best case scenario, right? You guys have built these solutions. You're continuing to work on the projects. You do see a potential path towards commercialization. Yeah, how is that all continuing to go is just great. So yeah, I really appreciate you both jumping on the call, giving your perspectives. And yeah, hope to see you back in the competition this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get back to the show here, and I want to take just a moment to stop and recognize this event would not be possible without the support we have from our many partners, as you can see on the screen. And it really is, we view everybody as a true partner. Everyone plays their role. Yeah, some are meeting with us on a weekly basis to go over things. Yet some come in and support the prizes and awards. Some are offering technology and equipment and legal advice. It really is a community feel and project. So with that said, we're going to hear from a couple of these folks later in the show. I won't give that away, but they get to talk about some of the prizes this year. So moving forward, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts, nitty gritty of the competition, what it is, and how you can get involved. So I guess in a nutshell, the competition itself is a showcase of the innovative work that's being done at this point in the competition all across the world. We feel fortunate that we get to play this great role of rewarding and recognizing the hard work that you're putting in, connecting you to other opportunities. But our main goals are to inspire students to pursue careers in agriculture by introducing them to the industry here with this competition, and to help growers solve on-farm problems. That's kind of first principles basis that we're operating from. So where do we go from there? Here is the challenge prompt. Your first step is to identify problem by connecting with what we're calling here a local ag partner, grower, farmer, agriculturist, who you can speak with that truly understands the day-to-day realities of farming. And this is the person that's constantly troubleshooting, problem solving, and finding ways to grow and produce food. And this is the cornerstone, the crux of the competition, and frankly, what I think makes this competition unique. We want you to discover issues in your local communities and work to understand and address these problems. We recognize this makes it harder. We're not handing you a defined problem set to attack that's kind of pre-packaged with specific attributes and things that we're looking for. So there's definitely this exploration aspect to things. But we really believe, and this it goes to the entrepreneurial side, that the end result of this piece, this exploration, is going to be way more meaningful to you if executed properly. And then it's also ultimately going to develop deeper connections between schools and industry. It's going to build new partnerships. Hopefully, it will facilitate research anchored in real-world problems, and then also open up job opportunities for students, and then spark those innovations in the farming community. So who do we suggest that you connect with to do your research? Could be depending on the size of the farm. Maybe it's the owner of the farm. It could be the farm manager, a director. You could also approach other groups, like potentially an equipment manufacturer or dealer. You heard from Luan, he's an extension advisor. He would be a great person to connect with, that type of role. Or a farm advisor that works in your community, somebody who's really attuned to local issues because their job is to advise farmers in your area. And then ideally that person, it's someone who not only knows operational challenges, but is also kind of very highly attuned to economic realities of running the business. It can speak to those pain points that when they're looking at their balance sheet, gives them anxiety and stress. So once you've kind of honed in on your problem, it's really up to you to build the solution and dig in. And the question here is, how can you apply these great new tools that we have, AI, robotics, utilizing automation to help your ag partner? that's the journey. It's simple, it's open-ended, allows you to bring your own creativity and perspective to the table. And we really truly feel it's an opportunity to learn, innovate, and contribute to those solutions that really could make a lasting impact on agriculture. So that is that in a nutshell. So what could it be? It can be any on-farm activity. It's the ings, it's the planting, the weeding, thinning, harvesting, monitoring. We talked about drones going out, so maybe scouting, data analysis, tools in farm management. All these things are possibilities. Again, it goes back to the needs of your ag partner that you're working with. Technology. So here's a little twist. If you were with us last year, we had kind of these defined categories. This year, we've kind of opened up and said, we're not going to do categories. We're just going to focus on kind of that core element, helping farmers with technology. So we're also opening it up to the opportunity for you to use and pick the technology you think is best to solve the problem. So that could be combination of commercially available gear or custom builds. You do have a limited time frame. So I would say if there is a commercial piece of gear that can help accelerate your product development, take that into consideration if it meets your needs, or if you need to tweak and build something custom, that's okay too. So there's really no hardware or software requirements. You can use any robotics, drone, software products off the shelf or things that you've modified yourself, additional sensors and devices that gather information, and pull those all together into an integrated system if you want, like the Hawaii team talked about. They had a drone robot communication system going, or maybe it's just a component. Maybe you build something that is implement that it has some robotic and AI features that's attached to a tractor. That could even work too. So again, we're not setting too many constraints on this. We want the larger aperture to really give you more flexibility and creativity to go out and solve the problems. This is also new this year. Since we are gaining in popularity, having more teams sign on, we want to divide things up into divisions and flights so that playing fields are a little more level. So the first division, D1, is what we're calling our four-year universities and colleges, accredited universities. That's pretty easy to understand. The next division that we're introducing to the challenge is what we're calling Division 2. And I'm going to speak to the United States here, and we may need to do a little research on other countries, but we have what we call two-year community colleges. And those are colleges that do not offer a bachelor's, master's, or PhD degree that still want to participate in this challenge and actually have really great programs in agriculture, at least in the US, that we want them to have their own division and awards associated with that group of schools. And this also includes technical institutes or specific vocational schools that don't offer the traditional bachelor's, master's, PhD degree. And then third is what we talked about earlier. We're really excited to kick off what we're calling the Farm Robotics Academy. And this is the secondary schools, the middle and high school students, so grades 7 through 12. Again, that's in the US. And this year, we are limiting participation in this primarily to California as we start this program and grow it. But down the road, we'll open that up and have a wider group of participation. So here's the timeline, pretty straightforward. There's 2 deliverables that are due for the competition. One of them, registration is open now. You're on this call. You've probably been on our website. You've seen that you can register your team with a form there. By the end of October, we are asking you to provide us your project proposal. What is that problem you've identified with your ad partner that you're working on? This is not a lengthy document. It's just one page, essentially, of what you're planning to do. We'll ask you about what technology you're using, and then maybe give us your team list so we can get that information. And then the whole rest of the time, is self-paced, ongoing project development until May 3rd, when we're asking you to turn in your final project to us so that we can judge it and do the award ceremony on May 20th. Along the way, we want to keep you engaged. We want to offer you basically content that we think is important for the competition, for you learning more about the community, ag tech, where it's going. So I won't go through this whole list, but just know this will be posted up on our website shortly. We're going to kick things off next week with a panel discussion that's going to go over the big picture of what's happening in agriculture. You know, how can technology play the role? And just to give you that 30,000-foot view of, yeah, the big view, the why. Why are we so focused on this issue right now? What are the issues? And then after that, we'll get way more granular and go into what are the individual farmer challenges. And we're lining up some farmers to come and talk to you on the webinar. So these will be promoted through our email communication. And we'll be posting the links up that you can get involved in that. And also all the meetings are recorded so that you can reference them at other points in time. So where do you begin? We talked about teams a little bit. One of the great things about this competition is that as Luan mentioned, different skill sets, interdisciplinary teams contributing to a project that is, has real world implications. So yeah, go after those engineering students, robotics students, computer science students, but also plant sciences, agriculture. I think it's great to involve some business, economic students in this to do potentially some market analysis for you, or help you with your presentations, with your pitches. Maybe even some graphic design would be cool. Some of the teams have coalesced around creating a fun name and a logo, and really had just some fun with developing their identity, which I think is also really cool that can come out of this project. Have a little note there. We want to encourage undergraduate students to get involved and mix with graduate students. So that's why we have that limit. Like, you can't have more than 50% of your team be graduate students. Get the undergrads in on your team, exposed to what's happening into the labs. And that's what we're looking for there. So also you do need what we're calling an advisor. Basically, this is your team coach. It could be a faculty member, it could be a staff member, somebody who at your school, your university, can help you kind of navigate through the system and get things done for you. Maybe you need project space to work on things, or there could be potentially financial documents and business things that you need to do. So each team does need to identify an advisor that's associated with the project. Could also be a grad student or postdoc. We've had that in the past, and that works out just fine. So right now we're doing registration open till October 10th. It's on the website. It's just a simple form that you can fill out that lets us know you're interested in competing. I will say, please just coordinate amongst yourself and have one person submit this document. Last year we had a whole team of 30 do it, and it was like, okay, that's too much. So just one team member, submit that. We're usually really good about getting back to you and say, hey, we got it, you're on board. Probably in a week or two, we'll start posting all the universities that have done that, so everybody could see it and you can double check. But if you ever have any questions, you can definitely reach out to us and we'll let you know if your team's registered or not. And then at that point in time, like I said, self-paced, but please don't wait to the very end. Get to it. Yeah, start having those conversations. Figure out what are the issues in your local communities, build those connections, and get to work. Project proposal I talked a little bit about on the timeline slide. We are going to host a specific webinar to go over all the expectations for this. That's scheduled for October 1st right now. Again, it's not a lengthy document, but it is something that we require. And we basically just want you to have your problem identified and communicated to us so that we can give you some guidance and feedback on moving forward. And if you're kind of curious, what happened last year if you didn't participate, we have posted a pretty comprehensive document of all the project proposals that were submitted to us last year. And that's at that. If you go to the results tab on our website, you can drill down and find that in 2025 participants. And then another thing to keep in mind is as you're working on your project throughout the year, make sure you're capturing some pictures, some video, kind of building your content library. So when you go to produce your end product, which is a 5-minute video, you have some material to work with and aren't doing it the night before. And, we can tell. So there's schools that plan really well, grab this stuff and create a really nice presentation, which I'm going to give you a hint, makes a big impression with the judges. So that's an important part of presenting yourselves, communicating your work. What does it look like? How does it work? So be sure as you're going along to be collecting that for your project. And this alludes to the final report, which I just mentioned, is going to be a 5-minute video presentation. You can view the videos from last year on our website in the results section, and then also a written report that supports the work you do, where you can kind of get more into the metrics that you defined, evaluation, graphs, charts, a little bit more backup to the visual images that you're going to be submitting. And again, we'll have another webinar where we'll just take the whole time and we'll go over the requirements and expectations, so you're really clear on what we're looking for, and that's scheduled right now for November 12th, so plenty of time for you to take that information and put together a great report. And then we're going to have an awards ceremony that's scheduled for May 20th. And it's hosted in our building at UC Ag and Natural Resources, but we stream it on YouTube for anybody to tune into to watch that. And then here's the exciting part. We're going to talk about prizes. This year, we're thrilled that we're going to be awarding over $100,000 in different prizes and awards across categories and different divisions. So without further ado, I'm going to push it right to get into the prize conversation. And I'm wondering, do we have Hannah on board from Reservoir to talk about their section? Well,
hey, Kelly, can you guys hear me, see me?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and spotlight you, or is she good to go, Lucy?
Yep, I just went ahead and spotlighted her.
Okay, I'm going to advance your slides for you. Hannah, thank you for joining us.
Of course, yeah, no, good to see you guys. Hey, Lucy, and thank you so much for having us, Kelly. Before I get into our very brief slideshow, I just want to commend Farm Robotics Challenge and UCANR Innovate on such a stellar program. It's just so clear with the multiple times you've paused to thank people and describe how this program is run, that you're really taking an ecosystem approach to supporting these young entrepreneurs. And I think that's what all of us that are going to speak now are really, our mission aligned to do. So I'm just going to speak a little bit about who we are and the great opportunity that we're bringing into the challenge this year. So you can go ahead and advance the slide. Okay, so again, I'm Hannah. I'm the head of development and programming at the Reservoir. And the Reservoir is a multi-pronged organization. Today, I'm going to focus more on Reservoir Ventures, but we're also home to Reservoir Farm. So I'll just touch on that briefly, and you can go on our website, or you can get in touch with me if you want to learn more. But effectively, Reservoir Ventures, what we do is we back ag tech vendors solving real problems. It's no surprise then that we're really excited to sponsor the Farm Robotics Challenge. All of you are those early stage builders who are working with growers, as Kelly described, and really starting from growers' problems and working your way up to maybe a commercializable solution, an adoptable solution. We're also home to Reservoir Farms, which is the first on-farm robotics incubator. And so I just want to promote that while the price tag of our commitment might be more shiny and attractive. I would love to speak with any and all of you about Reservoir Farms as well, because it is another piece of what we can offer. If you can advance the slide, Kelly. So yeah, really excited to announce, and you may have seen on social media as well, we have a 50K investment opportunity to the winning team. And if you go to the next slide, I'll kind of talk about the fine print here. So we see this as a pre-seed investment. This is actually not a classic sort of competition prize. We're really meaning this 50K to go to help you advance out of Farm Robotics Challenge, maybe into an incubator, maybe onto Reservoir Farms, who knows? But we're really looking at a winning team to potentially make that small equity investment in. So we would perform standard diligence, who you are, what you're looking to do, your talent, your roadmap. And from there, we'd love to invest at a $50,000 check. So what we're looking for is really all the things Kelly already named, but you're really zeroing in on growers, you're aligning with growers, you're responsive to what you've identified in the course of your program here. And your solution is on paper, technically sound and is likely to be commercially relevant. And aside from that, we are just excited to get to know you guys and yeah, enact this commitment. Next slide. So yeah, I'll hand it off to our next sponsors here, but I just can't say enough how excited we are to be a part of this year. And we're hoping to be on all of those calls that Kelly mentioned and are always available to answer questions or get to know you and support you during your time in the challenge. So just thanks so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Hannah. Really appreciate that. And yeah, just great alignment between the organizations. So
yes,
yeah, super happy to have you guys on board this year. Okay, so moving forward, I would like to introduce or call to the microphone Brendan Dowdle. He is the Chief Business Officer for Bonsai Robotics. Brendan.
Thank you, Kelly. It's great to be here and welcome everybody. As Kelly said, I'm Brendan Dowdle. I'm the Chief Business Officer here at Bonsai Robotics, the former CEO of FarmNG. Between Bonsai and FarmNG, we've been partnered with UCANR here for, since the very beginning, and really excited to sponsor and partner this year for the 4th year of the challenge. It's grown quite a bit over these years. Maybe just a quick bit of background here on Bonsai, and I'll dig into the awards. So at Bonsai, we really believe in a future where autonomy is accessible for every farmer. Bonsai Robotics provides hardware and software that makes it really easy for farmers to adopt and deploy autonomous solutions in their fields. And that's why we're excited to offer this Amiga Innovation Award. Ultimately, the solutions that we provide here at Bonsai Robotics make it easy to think through applications that could make material differences to our farmers in the fields, and its students and innovators like yourselves can really bring those solutions to life. As many here know, and the reason why a lot of us are here is ag faces a lot of enormous pressure. Rising labor costs, tight margins, the challenge to farm sustainably. And we really believe robotics and autonomy can be that real powerful relief to those pressures. So, and for that reason, we see the Farm Robotics Challenge really being more than a challenge, more than a competition. It's really a chance to learn robotics in a hands-on way, apply robotics to real agricultural challenges and problems, and be part of a bigger community working on something big and meaningful, solving and improving our food systems. So the work you do here has a real impact, whether you win these awards or not. And so, with that preamble, I'll go through our awards. So we have, three awards on each of the different divisions. Division 1, is at the university level. There's a $10,000 cash award. Division 2 is a $5,000 cash award. And for the Farm Robotics Academy participants, we're offering a $1,000 award. And then this year, we're doing something special. So if we go to the next slide here, Kelly. For Division 1 winners, we are also providing an opportunity to get $25,000 worth of value of hardware and software equipment from Bonsai to apply towards a commercial opportunity. So if you are a winning team and you intend to commercialize your solutions, Bonsai Robotics will provide up to $25,000 worth of value here to your team. And that award will be awarded upon incorporation of that new company. So I'll finish off here. If you're considering it, joining, just kind of know this, this is not just competing for cash awards. Really, you're working on solutions that matter for farmers, for the planet. And you'll leave here with skills, connections, knowledge, and knowing that you've built something that's bigger for humanity. So really encourage all to join and participate. Excited to be involved in this for our 4th year.
Thank you, Brendan. Yeah, that's really great. And I like what you said about, the participation is the meaningful part of it. That being able to award the prizes is, we're giving out some ribbons, but really, getting involved in the community is ultimately what we're supporting and cultivating. So let's see. Up next, I think we have, yes, Walt Duflock, VP of Innovation for Western Growers. Walt, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about Western Growers and the awards you're doing this year?
Yeah, Kelly, great to be here, and welcome to all the folks on the line on the call. I'll totally echo what Hannah and Brendan just said. Western Growers, we are really interested in finding some of these solutions that can get to the commercial stage. So just to introduce Western Growers, I run the innovation team for the 2,300 Western grower members that grow a large chunk of the fruits, nuts, and vegetables, all that healthy food we like to eat. A lot of it's grown in the Western region, and our companies also grow globally. Names like Taylor Farms, Driscoll's Berries that you might have heard. And you've heard throughout the call, labor is our top challenge. Just to put quick numbers on that, $16.3 billion on 850 million hours of labor. And in many cases, the fastest growing segment of labor is the immigrant portion of the labor workforce. And that's at $30 an hour when you book all the transportation, logistics, hotels, and food costs in. So the only way that we can keep California's 24 million of ag acres and 8 million irrigated acres in California is to automate some of that labor challenge out of the business. So what Western Growers is going to do this year is actually roll out 3 prizes, $5,000 first prize, a $2,500 second prize, a $1,000 third prize. And that is going to be, again, echoing what the other award recipient or givers have said. It's all about commercialization. So if you want to compete in the robots contest, the robotics challenge, and just get to the finish line and win based purely on the robot, that's great. We're looking for the teams that want to take it further, that want to push it through to the field, that want to get commercialized. That's who our award winners are going to be. And I think the really cool thing is the dollars are nice. It's always good to have another 1,000, 2,500, or 5,000 in your pocket. But really, the relationships we want to set up with the growers will hopefully get you on your way to make this not just a challenge winner, but something you can actually see commercializing and getting to the commercial finish line. And so, again, we want to help you with the IP Protect, help you with the licensing, help you with all the ings that you heard about from Kelly earlier. And at the end of the day, the one thing I'll recommend everyone take a look at is look at Lean Startup. It's a really good way to business plan your ideas and make sure the economics can work for the growers after you develop it, because there's nothing worse than building a robot, taking it to a grower after months of work and having them tell you that needs to be about 1/10 of the cost, or that needs to do something you didn't even know about. So we will focus on getting you grower feedback, getting you grower field trials, getting all that stuff going after the challenge. And we're excited to have you guys on board, and look forward to giving 3 awards out in a while.
Fantastic. Thank you, Walt. Love it. Let's keep moving forward. So we have a few minutes for questions. We got a few more awards to talk about here. So this is a new one for this year, and we're interested to see what you could come up with here. But essentially, teams kind of aiming for the Excellence in AI Award should focus on developing novel advanced uses of artificial intelligence, and whether that's through a creative algorithm or some kind of innovative integration with robotics or sensing systems. That's up to you. I showed the picture here because this kind of opens up opportunities in livestock as well. We have had a few proposals come through for that industry. So yeah, applied AI through robotic hardware systems could also be software only solution. That's okay. Or integrated approaches through different crops, like I said, livestock or maybe mixed farming environments. But the question here is, how can we use these great new tools of AI to help transform agriculture? And we're going to support prizes at every level of the competition for this award. And then rounding things out, excellence in regenerative agriculture. So this is the focus on sustainability, on regenerative practices within both agriculture, could extend to forestry and natural resource management through the innovative use of robotics and AI. So one of our winner last year for this category was an autonomous reforestation robot. I think its name was Johnny B. Root from Carnegie Mellon University, and that's a great example of what could be done for this particular award category. So again, be thinking about how can we deploy robotics and AI to focus on the general ecosystem health and support and nurturing. So that's what this award is about. So as we mentioned, we really do have a focus on, it's not just about handing out prize money and awards, it's about bringing you in, making you the connections in the community, networking. And a part of that is the award winners for the different prizes listed here and the different categories will receive a travel stipend to encourage you to participate in the FIRA USA conference. It has been held in California here. And at this moment, we're going to do a minimum of a $2,500 travel award to bring you to the conference, to meet with all of us who are on this call, frankly. And we'll have a nice reception for you at the event. There's speaking opportunities, opportunities to demo your gear. And it's really cool because we have a demo row that's right next to the startup companies with their robots. So you're mixed in with everybody. And again, focusing on that community building, networking. So that's another aspect of how we're taking care of our winners here. So just a little plug before we go to Q&A for a couple minutes. We're starting our webinar series next Wednesday. Walt and Brendan, who you heard from, are going to be on a panel. Also, Danny Bernstein from Reservoir and scientist Stephen Mirsky from the USDA are going to be talking about the conditions, what's going on in the world of agriculture. How are robotics, AI gonna help these major challenges that we face? So we're looking forward to that. Invite you all to attend. We'll be sending out communication pieces about that so you can have that information and get on board. And we made it through with a couple minutes to spare. So thanks for everybody that hopped on the call and participated. Really appreciate your contributions today. And I'm going to ask Lucy if there's anything that came up in the chat in terms of questions that we didn't address through the presentation.
Yeah, so the first one would be, when will the proposal guidelines for 2026 be released?
Yes, right now I think that webinar is scheduled for October 1st. So it's on my to-do list. So I'm going to give myself a little flexibility and say shortly. But also, if you're really eager, you can go and look at the 2025 document. It's going to be very similar. It's on the website in the resources section. There's just some administrative things that we need to change this year. It's mostly about collecting data. So no foundational changes. So you can go ahead and look at that.
And then to clarify the grand prize, do you want to just give one more last overview with the maybe just flip
Sure.
back?
So it basically it's best in show. It could be any project that the judging panel focuses on that has those attributes that we talked about. Obviously, it's the best solution. It's commercially viable. It stood out from the rest. And I will add, this is not just for Division 1. So if you're a Division 2 team and you do the best project, you can win that prize. You're not locked into your division. It really truly is about the best solution, or even down to the academy level, who knows? So that's the prize. It's a $50,000 investment from Reservoir, and you work out the details specifically with Reservoir. It doesn't come through us here at UCANR. And we do have a clause if for some reason you don't want to go the incorporation route, but you're clearly the best project, then there will be an option to pick a gift option instead of the investment.
Then 2 more questions. So no, this year it is not mandatory to use the Amiga robot. But you are welcome to use that. It's a great platform. And then
maybe Lucy, just to mention, the Amiga Innovation Award does require a solution built on the Amiga robot. Just to be clear, I did not share that in my speech. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for clarifying that. And then for the judging panel and the judging considerations, so I don't know if we have the judging panel yet, but it's generally a combination of folks with more of an agriculture background and then more of a technical robotics background, and then
I would say we're seeking a mix, actually.
Yeah.
We need both perspectives. We need the ag background. We need the technical background. It's going to be industry folks, academic folks that can really assess the projects correctly. So and yeah, we don't have that finalized at this moment, but we definitely will in the coming months.
Yeah. And and then the rubric will be released pretty shortly after the project proposal guidelines, and so that's what the judges use to make their decisions.
Yeah, and we will share that with you, I think, on November 12th when we go over the final project expectations. So yeah, there's no surprises from us. You're going to have all the information that you need. And again, if you want to get a sneak peek at last year's, they're both on the website in the resources section.
Yeah, so if you want to look at what the teams will submit, you can look at the 2025 one, as Kelly just mentioned, on the website. So we're not providing Amiga robots to the teams. Everybody has to supply their own equipment. So that's why we've expanded it this year. So it's really up to you to, if you reach out to, sometimes through your institution, you can access funding for this kind of project or through different labs. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'll add to that. One of the things, I'm going to run a webinar or portion of a webinar that's going to speak to the student teams about fundraising for their student team at their institution. So there's definitely ways that you could connect to both industry and institutional resources to help what you're doing. And I'm happy to help kind of guide the teams through that, what it looks like. That's one of the reasons I suggested it'd be really nice if you had a business student on your team that could maybe be in charge of that, while the mechanical engineers and electrical engineers are fiddling with the robot, you need that, other support that can go out and rally support for your project if you need it. So the competition doesn't have a barrier to entry with an entry fee. So the equipment purchase is on your end. Do we hit them all?
Yep, I think that's all of them.
All right.
And yes,
Well,
we'll send out the recording of the video, and I think it'll be posted on the website. So
yeah, we'll
share with your
edit
friends.
it, we'll post it up. Yeah, please. And yeah, if you have any questions, our general email address is there. Shoot us an email. I'm happy to set up a time to talk to anybody that really wants to kind of dig in deeper about the experience. I'm happy to do that. Our website is chock full of a lot of information. If you spend some time kind of navigating, really reading through it, I think that'll also help. And yeah, anything else we can do to help clear things up, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks again for everybody that participated on the call today. And yeah, we will see you soon. And don't forget to tune in next week. All right. Thank you all.